Good morning, it's Saturday. Welcome back to the Tokoroa airfield. I'm here all on my own today, so no flying for me because I don't have an observer. And I can see why I'm here on my own. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Nice and sunny and, you know, blue skies, a little bit of cloud. But man, is it cold! We've got a really cold southerly wind. I think the wind chill factor is about minus 723.4, but I'm only guessing it may be less than that. Yeah, that wind doesn't look like much, but it cuts through you like a knife. And since there's no flying, I thought I'd do what I always do now. During the week, they have driver training here, so our airfield gets used more for vehicles than aeroplanes. So they put buckets and cones out and they drive up and down and teach people what the brake pedal does and all that sort of stuff. But often, after a day of the driver training, it's worth doing a walk of the runway because you get screws and panel screws and nuts and bolts and all sorts of things fall off vehicles when they're forced to brake hard. So there were 2 driver training days last week, so I think it's probably going to be worth doing a bit of a walk. Come with me and we'll see what we find. Hopefully we won't find anything. Now I was going to mow our little strip today, but the driver training, they've been driving all over it, so it's pushed the grass down and no point in mowing it because the grass is all laying flat. I wish they would actually stick to the tarmac, because also this time of the year when the ground's wet they can actually put big ruts in the carefully maintained area we use for flying models, which is a pain in the backside, but nobody gives a damn about us. That's all about them. See where they've been turning around here? So they have a lot of vehicles and they all come along, turn around, then drive up to cones and buckets. So let's follow the procession and see if we can find anything on the runway. It's looking pretty clean, but you never know. Oh, so far so good. There are some stones, and that's a bit of a worry for aircraft because they're very thin tyres. And there was a puncture here last weekend, but that wasn't actually caused by a stone. Oh, it's getting windy now. But yeah, you've got to be careful with the stones because they can cause problems. And the trouble is that the car park area is covered in gravel, loose metal stones. So when cars drive down here, they get stuck in the treads, and then when you put heavy braking on, the stones get flicked out. So you end up with a lot of stones all over the runway, and quite often they're sharp little stones. See if I can find one and show you what I mean. Well, you can see one there. There was one down at my feet before. I can't really see through the viewfinder. Oh yeah, there's another one just there. So these stones are small, but they got sharp edges, and so if you hit them at speed, if you're just doing a touchdown or something, you could end up blowing a tyre. Very inconvenient, also quite expensive. The plane that actually blew it, or had a puncture, the tyre was only $30–40, but the tube was $200. Unbelievable, just for like a wheelbarrow wheel type tube. But if it's aviation, it costs money, of course. That's how these things work. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of loss of traction. I think this was the car club actually. I think it was the driver training. As I say, this airfield is used far more for vehicles than for aircraft. It's actually better to turn it into a drag strip and a model flying area in my opinion. But, you know, there are the occasional planes drop in. And hang on, what's that I can see up there? There's something, hang on, let's have a look. Let me zoom in with a powerful lens. What is that? Let's go and have a look. It's not something that should be there, I don't think. May have fallen off the back of it. A ute, sometimes they have utility vehicles, pickup trucks for Americans. What is it? Looking through the viewfinder. Oh, I think it's one of those number plate surrounds. I think it's a... Let me pick this up. It's only plastic. Oh, is it? No. Yes. No, it's metal. It's metal. That's really good. Imagine a plane flicking that up. Imagine, where's it from? What's it say here? Let's have a look. I think it's from Te Muti Hamilton. Ingham Mitsubishi, contributing to the safety of the Tokoroa airfield. Jeez. Yeah, so actually, yeah, good score today, good find. And this is why, after every time they have the driver training, I, and obviously nobody else, walks up and down the runway to find any dangerous things that have fallen off. Safety first. Look, framing the airfield. But yeah, it's kind of makes a mockery of the whole safety thing, doesn't it? People used to complain about me and safety. Well, I'm doing my bit. What is anyone else doing? I don't know. So I'll see if there's anything else we can pick up. Haven't found any other bits of metal, but there are a lot of stones around here that have been, as I say, flicked up off the tyres. It's just the tyres, they get stuck in the groove, and then when you look at them, when you apply the brakes heavily, of course the tyres flex and the stones pop out and litter the runway. And of course, as a legacy of the drag racing that goes on, we get steel belts off tyres and things laying all over the place. A lot of tyre detritus, you might say. Oh, hello, up here, look. As I say, I wish they wouldn't drive on the grass, because look, it rips the shit out of the edge of the runway and the grass, but hey, you know, multi-purpose. Well, there we go, that's my walk today. Actually not too bad. There were no panel screws or bolts or other bits of things, just stones and that number plate thingy. Like, really, yep. And now I think I'll go and do some work. I want to put the Runcam Nano racer camera in the little Hawk Freestyle, and I've also got a replacement for the 4K split type camera that failed on my review of RC Model Reviews. So was it Geek Buying sent me a replacement pretty quick, pretty good, fantastic service. So there you go. That's a bit from the Tokoroa airfield, second weekend of spring.